Hello, Acres of Diamonds audience. This is Scott Gibbs with co-founder DJ Ligori, and this is a Daily Diamond number 43, and it's a follow-up to podcast number 23 with Rob Source. And Rob was an animal entrepreneur.
It was.
And if you didn't get a chance to listen to it, I recommend listening to it for a couple reasons. Number one, he has a very profound understanding about personal development and a very profound understanding of entrepreneurship. And he comes to it at a very, very young age. I think he's only 25 or 26 years old, maybe even younger. But he's obviously been mentored very, very well by his mentor, who is Bob Newbert out of the University of Buffalo Entrepreneurship Program. So very impressive young man. DJ, I loved a number of the quotes he left us with. And one was, entrepreneurship is about taking the first step without seeing the whole staircase. That was one. And the other one was having courage. Courage is taking action in the presence of fear. And he described as both those things as being, related to being a successful entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And I just, as someone that's trying to become a better entrepreneur and more courageous on a day-to-day basis, he really struck a chord with me.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to connect courage to entrepreneurship and kind of the bravery that you need in order to take that step without seeing the end of the staircase. And I think about how important having courage is in your life. And one of the best sayings that I've ever heard is never be afraid to ask out the hottest girl in the room. And it's a simple act of saying, all right, do you have the courage to, one, accept the consequences, whatever it is, if it's a yes or a no. And so, connecting it to entrepreneurship, do you have the courage to take that step without knowing if it's going to be a yes or a no? And, right now, I think, we've talked a lot about getting outside of your comfort zone and that's where the magic happens. And that's where real growth starts to happen. Taking that first step without seeing the rest of the staircase is essentially, you're trying to grow that staircase. You're trying to create something that you necessarily might have a little vision for, but you don't know what it really could become. And you're kind of stepping into the fear of the unknown. And that's how, why are we afraid of the dark? Because we can't see anything, because we can't see what's in front of us. When really, if you just turn the light on, you saw that thered be nothing in front of you. Right. Entrepreneurship is really basically taking that step in the dark and then slowly trying to find the light as, trying to find that, that objective or that niche or that value that will light up, your future for you or your path. So I think, courage is taking that step and taking action, in fear, and, let fear motivate you. Don't let fear beat you down. Do whatever you can in your mind to rewire your brain around using fear as a catalyst. I think that's something very important that I think extremely high functioning people have done very well with. Think of David Goggins and think of, we embrace the suck. If it doesn't suck, I don't want to do it. He purposely runs and jumps into a sheet of ice with a pond underneath it because he knows it sucks, but he knows it'll make him stronger. I mean, he's probably the epitome of that courage aspect. Right. So I think, courage is taking that step without seeing the staircase. So, which is something that, is hard to do. And it's something that you and I are slowly diving into. And I can't wait to see that second step.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great observation. Thank you. I was floored by his energy.
Oh my God.
So my question for you, do you think energy is a prerequisite for entrepreneurship?
I don't think there's lazy entrepreneurs. Let's just say that.
That's a great statement. Yeah.
But I did once see a quote from Bill Gates that I thought was fascinating. And he said something along the lines of, he said he loved lazy people because they found the quickest way how to accomplish things with the least amount of work. And that totally went against my personal culture. I personally grew up with thinking I was never the smartest individual, but I always wanted to be the hardest working individual. So when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, should I be lazier? Am I working too hard? Am I overworking? But no, his, Rob's energy, I think, and we talked a little about this. I felt it here, and I don't know if you felt it there, but all it made me want to do was think harder and think better and come up with better ideas and attack tomorrow, and it really does juice you up. And we talk a lot about the energy that you kind of have in a collaborative effort, and that was kind of that collaborative energy that I felt. And I mean, and you can see it for people who watch the podcast instead of listen to it. It looks like Rob is going to knock his laptop off the off the desk. I mean, it's like the Tasmanian devil, but I mean, that's the kind of stuff that is harnessed and creates a business or creates an idea that then flows into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just thought the energy for me was contagious. Absolutely. And as I was feeling myself being energized by him, I started thinking about my own leadership, right? And how important it is to show up, find ways to show up with the right energy just for that reason, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful that I could kind of feel it in real time to remind me of, hey, you have a family to lead, you have businesses to lead. You better make sure you're showing up with the right energy, because what he did to you, what he did to me was real, right? We were inspired. We were ready to take the hill.
Yes.
And that, I mean, he was just being himself.
He was being
right.
Yeah, and that's something for us to also keep in mind when we are given these opportunities to have group coaching sessions, to have webinars, to have individual meetings with people and seminars and group calls, to bring that energy every single time.
Right.
We have to leave all of our, maybe something bad happened that day. At that point, we have to say screw it, and we have to apply our energy and our positive thinking to the individuals who we've been blessed with, who have come into our lives, who say, hey, I want to get better. And you have some critical thinking ideas, they have some critical thinking ideas. Let's both get better today, and let's shatter that plateau and start that climb up, that metaphorical staircase.
I love it, DJ. Let's break there. Nice little teaser about what's to come for Acres of Diamonds, by the way. Group coaching, one-to-one coaching, webinars, workshops, online training, do-it-yourself training. There's a lot coming from the Acres of Diamonds business. So keep in touch and stay tuned with the podcast to find out more.
Yep.
Thank you, DJ. Nice job.
Yes, thank you.